Okay, let's see. Been trying for almost 10-15 minutes trying to get this thing going. Been shutting it off, turning it back on. Because I'm using the forward facing camera. Because I hate the selfie camera. Everything is backwards on it. It's mirrored. So when you're using your forward facing camera, you can't see if the signal is good or not. And the damn thing keeps shutting off. And I can't see it. Because I'm using the forward facing camera so that everything's not backwards. Line. And on here. Now, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm way down there on the bottom, huh? Can't be comfortable, I guess. Like this. That's kind of okay. Let me turn this light on. Kind of not the best comfortable, but it is what a TI is. Who came out with that anyway? Is that Willie Diedick invented that? It is what a TI is. Okay. Okay. There. How's that? Well, the monitor is right in front of my whatchamacallit. This chair is really, this chair can fall over very easily. So, what shall we talk about tonight? Do you see all the craziness that's going on YouTube right now? Oh boy. The chair's all messed up. It's ready to be thrown away. But, yeah, let me see if I can lower it a little bit. I know I'll be right in the comments. I see someone has left a comment. Thank you for leaving a comment. But it's probably covering me up because I'm down on the bottom. Okay. So, am I stoned? No. I don't think I'd get stoned and do one of these. But, so, did anybody catch my videos that I made just like 2 days ago? I guess it was Sunday. Well, like every other word that I used was the F word. And so I didn't make them public. So if you caught it, you caught it. But if you didn't, then you missed it because I'm not making it public. I was even thinking about erasing it. One of them actually got restricted. Okay? One of them actually got restricted. And so I was thinking of just erasing them because, there are some things on there that really are, even though you're just messing around, right? some you shouldn't be saying certain things on here. Okay, it can be used against you. And so I didn't make them public. I didn't make them public. Hi, uh, Alejandro, Alex, 3237. That must be your something. It's not a zip code. Okay, so um, thank you everyone for interacting in the comment section. And I'm gonna talk about some stuff tonight that probably, this and that, but this is what's going on, okay? And so those 3 videos that I made, okay, um, I I just I've got them, but they're on private, and it's like a journal, so you can always go back and see what you're doing on a certain day. So I'm I didn't delete them, but they're not public, so you can't see it. They're locked, and I've actually got a lot of my videos are locked. Um, so um, should I unlock all those videos? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Um, but these 3 videos, I'm definitely not unlocking them. I'm not putting those on private. Those, you have to catch me when I'm live. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. Okay? And so what I want to talk about is the extraterrestrials, for one. And I'm going to be talking about that old subject again. Remember, it was a hot subject, and now it kind of just faded away. Well, there's still some crap going on with it. Remember the uh, um, stuff that was going on with the police brutality? Um, it's kind of strange because I used to hang around with this one guy, uh, this one bozo. He basically blew up my truck. I used to have a little Datsun truck. He basically blew it up by driving it through a cornfield. And um, and that night, uh, we had got out of the truck, and he went over there and he went in and he pulled out all the spark plug wires out of the car and out of the truck and threw them across the field. And so next thing we know, there were some cops coming trying to catch us. And uh, I hid in the bushes, and um, they got the other 2 guys. There was 3 of us, and they got the one guy, and I guess they put him in the car. And the other guy, he was like kind of crazy, bit on the cop, right? And the cops were trying to get him in the car. They're putting him in head first. And anyhow, that night he had said, police brutality, police brutality. He was white, right? So I don't know where he got that from. And I always think back, and I'm like, where the hell did he hear that from? He was like, police brutality. They were just, messing with them, right? We're all the same age, basically. But anyhow, so I want to bring a little bit of attention back to this, because I saw a video today, and this is messed up. And if you do the psychology on it and run it all the way down, I think you're going to find that it's racism. Okay? Racism in these communities. And, well, it's because the people are just like, just like the guy who has the channel, Justice, just like um, he's saying the same thing basically. Uh, you know, there's, if you study sociology, you'll learn all these things, that how they get people to, you know, conform to, you know, by using psychology, can get them to conform to, you know, do the 9 to 5 and be a good American citizen and fly the flag out there and all kinds of stuff like this. And well, this is what I'm going to be talking about, okay? Because this is straight bullshit, okay? This is straight freaking bullshit. And they were bringing attention to it, and they were, you know, stomping it out with the First Amendment auditors. But then, like I said, what was going to happen? They stomped out the First Amendment auditors. Okay? And so I saw a video today, and it's disgusting. I mean, we don't know the full context of what was going on. We don't know all the ins and outs, right? Because there are thugs out there who need to be taken off the street, okay? But usually they're the informants, okay? Um, at least it's been my experience. But yeah, there are some bad freaking thugs out there that need to be taken off the street. But, you know, I told you what my thing was with the, you know, firing squad and all that, which I guess South Carolina is the only one that's still using it. Um, but I told you what I thought about that. But um, so yeah, there are some uh, people out there that need to be dealt with. We don't know the whole context of what was going on. We don't know anything about this dude, right? We don't know anything about him, so I'm just going off what I saw on the video. But I'm sure people in that community know what was going on. But I suspect it's just freaking racism. Because you have these people, you have certain kinds of people in the community who want to be respected or, you know, be a somebody in the community, right? And I think that's what this was about. Because, um, um, because now I'm not just, this is not just my opinion. I'm repeating what I read. There's a college course you can take, okay? There's a college course. It goes by two different names, two different titles. One is called Community Policing, okay? And the other one, they're basically both supposed to be the same thing, but there's two different books. It's the same class, but there's two different books. And I checked both books, okay? And I can tell you, one is better, way, way better than the other. And so one of them is called Community Policing, and the other one is called Multicultural Law Enforcement. And it gives you the psychology. These students, or whoever they are that wrote this book, were very, very good at what they were doing. Um, and they're all different racial ethnicities who wrote that book. And the name of the book is called Multicultural Law Enforcement. So that's where I'm basing this information out of, okay? And then I'll tell you what's going on with the extraterrestrials. And I was watching this video today, and it shows this cop. I didn't even turn on the volume. I'll sit there and I'll watch the video, see if it's, if it's clickbait, it starts playing and then you can see the closed captions. And just off seeing the closed captions, I was watching it without sound. It's just like, ding! You already knew what the dude was about. He walks up to him and starts, you got your license, man? Right? Addressing them as man. Okay? And that's just so freaking corny and tacky. Even there's cashiers that don't, who they in their mind, from all the crap that they've watched on media and stuff, they think you're scum, right? So they can't address you as sir. They can't be professional. They'll either call you, like in this case, man, right? And other names, but they won't address you as sir because they're screwed up in their head from the media and other things that have to do with psychology. And so right as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh man, this is not going to go good. This dude is one of those freaking dude who's messed up. He's, authoritarian. He's drawn to that occupation like like a magnet. And because he wants to be the big cheese. And you look at him, you look at the way he talked to this dude, and you're like, he would never talk to him like that if he didn't have the advantage of having that badge and that the whole 9 yards, right? He would never talk to him like that on the streets. And there's just some facade or some kind of trance that society is under, right? And not only that, but it's like, there's freaking criminals out there. There's freaking things to be, go do something useful. Instead of picking on some dudes who are sitting here trying to, have a beer, because they're living in poverty. I can understand if they're doing something illegal or, if they've beat up people. We don't know that. We don't know anything about these people. And, but I suspect it's all freaking racism. Not from just the law enforcement who's jacked up in their head, but from the community. Because the community must be bored out of their minds, right? Because they did this right in front of a gas station where everybody's in there looking out the window, right? So they did it just to show off. And they took this dude and freaking shot him in the head. Murdered him. And they think this is okay? I just saw it today. It happened in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Check it out. And you watch that movie, it's so disgusting. When they go and they start talking to the people, you can tell that the whole freaking community was gossiping and crap, right? About this guy. You watch it, you should. Some people will be able to figure out. People who are under that trance, they probably can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. That's what it was. This guy starts, the dude who was in the source, the way the way he talks, he sounds like a freaking idiot, like an uneducated, dumb ass idiot. Okay, so um, those comments stop, or do you have to move them down? I thought they were supposed to move down by themselves. Hello, what you doing? Uh, well, I'm just making this video on things that are going on right now that people, don't recognize. So I'm putting it out there so that they'll be able to recognize it. They're figuring it out little by little. And so I was looking for, there's no clock on here. Okay, so I was going to talk about Pismo Beach, because when you used to go to Pismo Beach before, like 25 years ago, it was mostly white people. When you'd go on the pier, they have a pier. You can walk out on the pier, and then when you come back, they have a little, down on the corner, they have a place where they sell clam chowder, and then they have a place there, close to there, yeah, right close there, where they sell fish and chips. And everybody walks out on the pier right there. And it used to be mostly white people, and you could ride your motorcycle on the beach in between Oceano, Grover Beach, and there's dunes. There's like Grover Dunes or something, and then it comes back to Oceano, I think, and then Pismo Beach. And then right around, if you take a car and you drive like 10, 15 miles, there's actually a nude beach, which is called Pirates Cove. And that beach is pretty cool. But on the Pismo Beach used to be mostly white people there. So if you go on YouTube and you start searching for, videos of people recording on Pismo Beach, just type in Pismo Beach. Now you'll see that it looks like you're in Mexico, right? I mean, it's got to be like 80% Hispanic. So I don't know what's going on, but in the summertime, summertime's over now, but in the summertime, you can, from here, this highway that's right here is 33, you can see everybody leaving out of town with their trucks pulling a trailer, toy haulers. Everybody's going to the Pismo Beach. And because Pismo Beach, as the crow flies, it's about 50 miles across to the Pacific Ocean. And right over here this way is 41. Well, right here is Interstate 5, but if you keep going farther down, it turns into 41, and 41 takes you all the way over into to the coast. So from the big city, Fresno, California, which is about 70 miles from here, the 41 freeway takes you out to the coast. And on that 41 freeway in the summer, you'll see everybody taking their RVs. I mean, one RV right after the other. Just everybody's going to the coast. And so if you go online and you look at Pismo Beach, you see everybody out there having a not good time, man. Right on the beach, it's overcast, but looks really nice. They have like little bonfires out there, and so everybody's just enjoying it, right? They have their RV, checking out the scene, and but there's no racial diversity. The only thing there is Mexicans and white. Now, what's up with that? Is it because they can't assimilate. Is that what you call it? Assimilate or blend into like the others do? Why are the other ones getting along? Is it because the music you listen to? Could it be that they don't want people out there playing rap music or something? I don't know what it is, but people need to start um, thinking about this, right? What's going on here? And so uh, so now switch over to another subject. Okay, you remember Kevin Trudeau? He's the one who informed everybody about all the garbage crap that was going on, how they're poisoning the food. He's the one who started telling the people about it. All people that are barely catching on right now, the reason why they're catching on is because of the book he wrote 20 years ago, 20 or 25 years ago. They put him in prison for a bullcrap charge. Okay? In my opinion, they put him in prison because of the stuff that he told the people, that he revealed to the people, which now the people know is true. Okay? Even though they don't say that we put him in prison because of that book, right? They came out with some bullcrap charge. I've told you that over and over again. Well, um, well, he wrote this book, and I told you that's the only book that I really endorse. I don't endorse all the other stuff that he does. I'm just telling you that this stuff that he put out there in the book, okay, is the stuff that I endorse. Well, they said he's a you know a thief and this and that, and well, he also wrote another book, which was or is supposedly the best diet on earth. Okay, and it uses this thing. It's called I don't know. It's some kind of hormone, right? It has to do with some kind of hormones, and so it's called the Simeon diet. It's by this Dr. Simeon from Europe. Okay, I don't I don't know anything about that crap, right? I don't know anything about. I don't endorse that book. Okay, but scientifically, it's the best diet available. Is what um, is what it's supposed to be. And if you want to find out which the best diet is, ask AI. And and so now they were like, oh well, he's a he's a snake oil salesman, he's a con artist, and all this bullcrap. And now here they are, the government. The government just announced when that one dude fell down, when Orange Man, when he was delivering some kind of speech. They had all the CEOs from these multi-billion-dollar corporations, and one of the dudes, he fell down, right? And everybody was laughing at the expression on Orange Man's face, right? It was like, you can't make this stuff up. Well, I was telling you, the guy that fell down, the people need to find out if he took theater in college, theater or acting, because I suspect it was probably staged. I mean, you can't rule that out. But I mean, with all the stuff that they do, right? How do you think they've been the rulers since the days of ancient Egypt? Okay, so anyway, here's the government now. And the guy gets up on the podium. Orange Man is sitting over on his desk, letting him have the podium. And he comes out and he says, we have a drug for weight loss. Now, who's the freaking snake oil salesman? Okay? So, okay. Okay, now, before we get to the extraterrestrials, I won't talk about the sexual stuff because that'll be pushing it. I'll try and work that in sometime later. It's about that one chick, Fran something. She used to play on The Nanny, so I was gonna comment on that. But okay. Guess what else I watched on these YouTube video live streams today? There is a lady, and she's living in a van. Okay, and I guess she smokes weed, and I think she was gonna smoke a bong or a pipe or something. I didn't see her do it, but I think she was loading it up. So just trying to give you a frame of reference of who she is, and um, and her behavior is kind of borderline, maybe taking some type of medication since they hand them out like candy corn, right? Probably is. You know, a lot of those people can't collect SSI unless they take the damn stuff, right? So I would not rule that out. But she was showing the people how to take a shit in the van because she lives in the van. This is homeless people. And she says that it's that her videos are useful because there's other people who are, you know, cheering her on. People who come into her comments or whatever, people starting to buy buses and stuff. And she was sitting there with one of those little wick, wick, you know, those baskets made out of weave, made out of like, I don't know what you call them. I remember we made one in school one time. They put like long leaves and then it was like a basket. It wasn't made out of plastic or anything like that. It was a weaved basket. It was a weaved basket about that big. And probably about like that big. And she says, now make sure you use 2 or 3 bags. You know, you take your bag and you put another bag and another bag. And don't you think that's bizarre? I've never seen that. I've never seen somebody do that on YouTube, right? And she was being very specific and graphic. And so, you know, if they're talking about all that kind of stuff, um, why don't they talk about the other stuff, like the extraterrestrials? Why don't they acknowledge the big secret? The book, The Biggest Secret, not The Big Secret. The Biggest Secret is the title of the book by David Icke. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that I saw that. Okay, um, this is getting weird, and you know, these live streams. So, um, am I against it? No, I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm for freedom of speech. Actually, 100% for freedom of speech and the free flow of information. And so I guess we should be grateful that we have what we have right now. It took a lot of work to put those satellites up there. Okay? The free flow of information that's going on right now, I guess we should be grateful. And even though they did restrict my video the other day, but you know what? I can understand. I can understand why. I mean, I wouldn't want it out there either myself. But okay, now moving on to the extraterrestrials. Did you see the what they got flying around right now on the internet? You know who the smartest guy is on mathematics these days? You know who he is, right? He was like one of the guys that, um, or he is the guy who invented this quantum string theory. Okay, Miguel Kaiku, I think his name is. And so they've got a video circulating right now. I think it's AI, but it's got him on there, and it's got his voice. And he's not the only one. I got bombarded by all kinds of different channels came up, talking about the same thing. They're talking about this thing that's flying around out in outer space. I guess it's called third. No, it's called Tri Atlas. It's got number 3 and I, but I guess they call that Tri. And it's called Tri Atlas. And on the video, they're talking about all this strange stuff that uh, there's some kind of message that was sent, and it's in some strange, you know, communication and digital form or whatever, and um, different things. It's difficult to understand, and and it's like computer code language or something for all different ways of communication. And it said that um, we uh, we find your species to be um, you're jacked up. Basically, is what they're saying. We've been watching you for, I think they said 300,000 years, and they say you guys are all jacked up, and we don't want you coming out here. You basically is what they're saying. You can do your own thing over there, but your species is nuts. Okay, we don't want you out here. We're we're gonna turn off all your AI and um, all your instruments that are coming out here into outer space. We're shutting them all down, and they've already done it, according to this thing that's going around now. Is this some kind of subterfuge? Is this another trick? Probably. Who the hell's doing it? Is it for clickbait? So this mathematician, uh, Kaiku, Mikao Kaiku, I have to find out his name. I always forget. It's difficult name. It's Japanese, and he needs to be made aware of this and get on there and tell the people what the hell's going on. Is this true? Because they're using him on that AI to tell the people this. That's a lot of information. Somebody has to have a wild imagination, because that video goes on for like at least 30 minutes. Actually, I fell asleep listening to it. And so you have to have an imagination like who was the who was the dude who made Star Trek? I forget what that guy's name is, but he had a wild imagination. Well, I guess he was getting his imagination or his information from, you know, the extraterrestrials, probably. But anyhow, Okay, so talking about these extraterrestrials. So guess who else popped up on there? You know who the main guy is right now here in the United States? Lives in North Carolina. He's a medical doctor. He's actually a surgeon. Used to be a surgeon, and and for the military. And he's running this thing. It's called SETI, SETI, and you got all these people all around the world who are tuning into his uh, website where they talk about all this things about these extraterrestrials. And and you know who he is, right? He made a couple videos on Sirius. He made that movie Sirius, Sirus. Sirius. It's like the constellation or whatever. There was that video that came out, and they do a lot of stuff, and they do things with their mind because these things are supposed to do time travel with using the mind, because they're he doesn't call them extraterrestrials. He calls them interdimensional beings. Okay, and so I'm like, okay, right? I mean, he's been doing this for like 20 years already. 20 years doing. You'll know who he is if you go and you start searching around and looking at his documentary. Okay, now all of a sudden, out of the blue, now they're putting all this stuff on there, and here he is, right? And and I'm like, why do you why do you people act like you live on different planets, right? The number one guy who's told the people about these extraterrestrials is David Icke. So why does he never, ever once acknowledge the book, The Biggest Secret by David Icke? Does that sound normal to you? What is this facade? When are the people going to catch on? This is baloney. Neither does David Icke acknowledge this guy. Right? That's why I told you. I think they're extraterrestrials themselves. Okay? And when you sit there and you start using all these big words and you know something's fishy. Okay? They're doing all this stuff, tell you so much, and that they put a freaking spin on it for their own objectives to keep freaking drilling their freaking dinosaur technology. Trillions of this garbage dinosaur technology crap that has made them the largest industry on planet Earth. Okay? So I just wanted to bring your awareness to that. I don't want to mention any names that I'm not too familiar with the people with, right? I don't know them like that, so I'm not mentioning his names. You can do your own research. The name of the documentary was Sirius. You can find it like that, okay? But yeah, so now he comes back on after all this time, and he's sitting here having a discussion, you know, because of this thing that's out there in the whatchamacallit, it's like moving at 42 miles per second. Okay? So it's moving fast. And something happened, I guess, yesterday or the day before, and they said that everybody was tripping out on this thing, that they're listening to it by sound or something, and they got this message. You probably see it. I mean, it just flooded the internet today. But yeah, this is baloney. I've been telling you this, all these whistleblowers, they don't acknowledge each other, right? And so that's why I'm saying, you know, I think they're extraterrestrials themselves. They only tell you so much, right? And that they'll put some kind of spin on it. Uh, always, always they spin around from this old dinosaur technology. So, you know, there's some funny business. But that should be a red flag to everybody. When you have these people who are passionate about exposing the extraterrestrials and they won't even acknowledge the main person, David Icke, he's the one who he's the one who got all the information. He gives you their first and last names in the book. Okay? David Icke was the one who was out there on the streets when everybody was, oh, it's the pandemic, right? And you tell them it's bullcrap. Oh, no, not this one, not this one. Bet him $1,000. It's baloney, right? David Icke's out there on the streets. It's a scam, right? So they started kicking him out of everywhere, saying, don't be telling the people it's a scam and this. And now what? Now everybody knows it was a freaking scam. Okay? So what makes you think what he's saying about the extraterrestrials is not also true? Right? So check it out. So that's what I just wanted to put that out there. But that video was very, very disturbing. That is freaking cold blooded. All right. And so thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk at you later. Message held for review. Okay. Players Incorporated, I gotta boot you. Sorry about that, but okay. Okay, message held for review. Hold on. Have a shout out. My name is Nick. Okay, I gotta block this one too because it's just being an idiot. Okay. Okay, I gotta block this one. Yeah, thanks for leaving messages, but I don't think all the messages should be negative like this. Okay, message held for review. Okay. I'm taking a crap. That one I won't block that one. But these other ones who are leaving racial crap, I mean, that's so freaking childish, dude. So you are blocked. Hopefully forever. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for leaving messages. Today is Tuesday. I don't know what time it is. It's probably early. I could look at this one here. 6:46. And it's Tuesday, November 11th. And I'd give you an update on Bitcoin, but there's really not not too much going on, except for, you remember the last prediction I made. The last prediction I made, I was driving around over there at the Leemore, and this was about, oh man, it's hard to judge time. It was about, what, a month ago? I have no idea. It's been a minute. And it was probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. And I told you what I thought Bitcoin was going to do. I said, now it's either going to move up or down, of course, right? It has to move either up or down. I said, but I think what it's going to do is, I think it's going to go up to 130, then go down to 89, and then go back up to 130, and after that, I don't know what the hell it's going to do. Well, it went down and it touched 89. Exactly what I had predicted. And so now it didn't recover, but it's, just like, it's like a 105, it's like 105. So 89. So, if that was, if that was where, people should have got in, I think so. And I can't tell you any more than that. You have to do your own research. Okay? But yeah, it did go down and touched exactly what I predicted. You can go back and watch my video. And so, if you want to find out about it, there's a dude who will coach you on it. It's the only one you'll find. He does it online, and it is by this one dude who figured it out, and he's become a multi-millionaire, and now he's living over in the Cayman Islands with all the millionaires over there. And he's from Canada, I think, or Indiana or something like that. And he has a school. It's called Keystone Research Group. Okay, and his name is Iman Shafi. And if you want to jump in both feet, get yourself some Bitcoin. It's like gold, right? It's like investing in gold. Then you could go that route. But if you want to, be a little bit more conservative, and you're really scared, don't want to take the deep dive, then there's this book available on Amazon. They've got a few books. I don't know what the other books are like, but they have this book, and let's see, I'm supposed to be moving it this way. They have this book, and it's called Crypto Trading for Ambitious Beginners by Joel Peters and Jan Robert Schultz. Okay, it's a pretty good book if you want to find out about it. And get in on the bandwagon, right? Especially if you're younger. If you're younger, I mean, this is like the beginning of the internet, right? This is the new currency for the whole world. The dollar has become toilet paper, right? That's why Orange Man is going all in, and he wants to make the United States the Bitcoin capital. But as far as I know, it's not that way right now. You can find out who has the most. To go ask AI. Okay, so that's all I've got for right now. Thanks. And the stuff I said about the the stuff I said about law enforcement, you can find out for yourself. The book is called, especially if you're in college and you're taking AOJ, Administration of Justice. The book is called Multicultural Law Enforcement. Okay? And it's the 4th edition is the one I'm talking about. It psychoanalyzes these people who are drawn to that occupation, and it gives you the psychological of it and how they deal with different racial ethnicities, right? And it is spot on. Okay? So I could show you the book, but it's all dusty. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.